Oh, good morning. You're probably wondering who this jerk off is, but let me tell you, I'm not Matt. I'll never be Matt. I don't hope to live up to Matt. Unfortunately, Christmas night, he got arrested for pissing behind a dumpster. Cops saw him, wiener out, everything. No, I'm kidding. He's on vacation, so he made the terrible mistake of giving me the channel for one video, and I'm going to try not to run it into the ground. So obviously we're going to be doing the Pick'ems video, NFL Week 17, which is really sad because that means we only have one more week after this week of regular season. So if your team like sucks balls like the Giants, then the season's over. I mean, the season was over week 2 for us, but I'm gonna identify as a Dolphins fan for the rest of the season. But let's look at how we all did this week. First place, we got Andrew. I don't know what he's drinking or what he's doing or who he sold his soul to, but he's pulling in 94.7% accuracy on his pick'ems, which is insane. Next, we got Matt with 93%. And then we got Ana de Armas' feet. Me gusta la pies. I dropped below 90% this week, which kind of made me want to jump off a bridge because I was holding on to that 90, and like that's, since my fantasy team sucks and my real life NFL team sucks, the only thing that I had was the pick'ems. But anyway, I'm gonna get a perfect score this week and next week, and we're gonna rebound. Next up, we got Rhett, and he'll pull it together. So yeah, that's who we got. Let's look at the first game that we're picking this week. We got the Dookie Jets versus the Cleveland Browns. I honestly did not see the Browns being good this year, especially after Deshaun Watson went out. He probably planned his injury too, because he's like, hey, if I go down with an injury, then I get to go to therapy. And therapy is basically just and we know he loves that kind of stuff so much. But nevertheless, I picked the Browns because the Jets have honestly one of the worst offenses that I've ever seen. I really like Zach Melson. He stands for a lot of the things that I stand for, like hot moms, but bro, they just suck. They have a good defense. Joe Flacco decided to all of a sudden like start playing like how we used to play with the Ravens when they went to the Super Bowl. So I don't know how long that Linsanity run's gonna last. Probably longer than Tommy DeVito's Linsanity run. But I picked the Browns because they got a crazy defense and a capable offense. Next up, I'm really excited about this one. We got the Detroit Lions versus the Dallas Cowboys. I hate the Cowboys. When they lost to the Dolphins, I don't think I was happier at any point in my life. Just watching the whole entire Dallas fan base cry and whine and complain, and yeah, they're almost as whiny as Patrick Mahomes, which is insane because all Patrick Mahomes does is whine and cry and complain. But that's enough Cowboys hate for this segment. I'll probably pick it up in like 30 seconds. But I picked the Lions. The Lions are so hit and miss. It's kind of crazy. Like they'll play lights out one week, and then the next week Jared Goff will play like how I would play, just not good. Their defense is hit or miss. Everything about the Lions is hit or miss. So I'm really hoping that they're hit and not miss. I know the whole thing of the Cowboys playing at home, and they are undefeated at home because the refs, I don't know, like jerked them off under the table or something. There's got to be a reason for it, but I pick the Lions, and that very well could be the reason that my picks don't do good, because I think not with my head but with my heart, and I want to see the Cowboys lose. Next up, Buffalo and the Patriots. I don't know if the Patriots are tanking or what they're doing. I don't know if Bill Belichick is like trying to win just as many games as he can so that he can prove, hey, I still got it. Like, I don't know what that win was. It was stupid, but whatever. I'm not a Patriots fan. Screw the Patriots, bro. Obviously, I'm picking the Bills because, you know that video where they were running out of the tunnel and they were like, I love you, Josh Allen. I love you, Josh Allen. That was actually me. I flew up to Buffalo and ran out of the tunnel just so that I could say, I love you, Josh Allen. So, especially with the way that the Bills have been playing this past few weeks, you got to pick the Bills. It's kind of like, are the Patriots even an NFL team anymore? Like, if we did things how they did in soccer where you would get relegated, like, you have to relegate the Patriots. The Patriots get relegated, the Panthers get relegated, obviously the Giants get relegated. Like, put in FSU, since FSU didn't make it to the college football playoffs, just put them in Gillette Stadium in Boston. All that to say, I picked the Bills by like 73 points. I think by the second half, they're going to put in their second string quarterback, who's also named Allen. It's really weird seeing number 17 Allen, number 9 Allen. I don't even know what his first name is. I just see Allen, and I'm like, I love you, Josh Allen. Next up, we got the Falcons versus the Bears. What a terrible game. Like, both teams just, well, I guess they're almost close to 500. I got the Bears. I think they have more offense. Justin Fields is fun to watch. DJ Moore is fun to watch. He was on my fantasy team for the 2 weeks that he went back-to-back like 40 and 50 points. And then I traded him away. And I think I timed that really well because he kind of went downhill a little bit after that. That was when Justin Fields got hurt and everything. But yeah, I just think the Chicago Bears are a more complete team from offense to defense than the Falcons, especially. Can we talk about Arthur Smith? I don't know. I know they're trying to have diversity in head coaching positions, based on race. Are they doing it with mental disabilities too? Like, is Arthur Smith actually a because I think he might be. Like, I don't know. I had everything, all my opinions are basically formed on my fantasy team. And I drafted Bijan number 1 overall. And Arthur Smith didn't use him, even though he's allegedly generational talent. So I'm kind of mad about that. And then the whole thing with Kyle Pitts supposed to being good, and then Arthur Smith never uses him. So I think Arthur Smith is just like, he sees a good player and he doesn't want to use them or something. I'm not really entirely sure what his hiccup is, but there's definitely a hick in the up with Arthur Smith. So I picked the Bears because why not? Justin Fields is cool. DJ Moore is cool. They got a good defense. They're 6-9. I would hate for them to miss. In an ideal world, here we go. In an ideal world, all right, they would tie so the Bears could keep that 6-9 record. So they'd be 6-9-1. And then the next game they would tie 2. So they would finish the season 6-9-2. Because that would be awesome if they finished the game 6-9. Anyway, Chicago Bears by, I think there's a 6.9 point spread too. If I was doing the betting odds for this game, I would say that the spread is 6.9 points. Anyway, here we go. Las Vegas Raiders versus the Indianapolis Colts. Honestly, a 50-50 game. Max Crosby is a dog. I love the memes from it now. Like him smoking cigars in the locker room after a win, and everybody's comments under like, oh, he's trying so hard not to say the N-word. You think he says it? I don't know. Anyway, that's not what this is about. After the Raiders bummed out every single whiny Chiefs fan and Taylor Swift. Aw, poor Tay-Tay. I bet she's going to go home and cry or sacrifice a child to Satan. Because, I mean, let's be honest, she's a witch. Anyway, so yeah, I picked the Raiders because I think they're riding super high momentum on their past couple wins. Their defense is playing lights out. They're riding this momentum, like I've said, 4.9 times. I don't know why. Shit, maybe I'm on 4.9 times? That's such an exact number. Maybe I need to take an autism test. I took an autism test, and I scored, like, way below what an autistic person would score. But I don't know why I just said 4.9 points. Anyway, let's move through this. So, yeah. I picked the Raiders over the Colts. I think it's going to be a great game. Both teams are very close to 500. They're very evenly matched. Gardner Minshew with his Minshew Mania. Minshew Mania never died. I feel like it just got stronger. Like, I'm probably, if I ever have kids one day, I'm going to sit them down when they're like 6 or 7 and be like, hey, I got to tell you about Gardner Minshew. The greatest quarterback to ever breathe. So, give me Raiders. Just because of their momentum and the evenly matched teams. Next up, I'm looking at ESPN, and 90% of America picked the Rams, and 10% of America picked the Giants. Let's be real here. Who's picking the Giants? I know, and I respect, I'm not one of those people who's like, let's tank, because tanking is for freaking losers. Like, if you tank, you're basically giving up, and you don't even deserve to be playing on a football field if you're just going to give up. I don't care about the draft picks. You play to win games, not lose. Get out of here. But who's picking the Giants? I'd love to see the Giants win on Sunday, but I'm 23. And I've seen so many terrible Giants teams, so many terrible Dolphins teams. Like, those are my two teams. And I've seen terrible teams of them. I have never, in my 23 years, ever seen a Giants team with a worse offense. Never. Like, it blows my mind every single time I watch the Giants. A little part of me dies. Like, the whole Tommy DeVito thing, it was fun. It was super fun to watch and, like, pretend like he was the answer. But I just don't get it. Saquon is the only thing that's keeping me from... Saquon and our defense. Our defense somehow, every single game that we've won, besides week 2 against the Cardinals, was all because of our defense. The Packers game was a crazy fluke. And I honestly thought that we were going to the Super Bowl after we won that game. But that was all the defense. Every single game that we've kept close is because of the defense. Against the Eagles last week, our defense got a pick 6, a fumble. Like, just our offense is terrible. Minus Saquon. Saquon can do no wrong. Like, I hope he retires a Giant and then, like, works for the Giants as some kind of coach or something. But yeah, I'm gonna watch this game and be rooting for the Giants. We all know the Rams are just gonna repeatedly just fist all of it in there and just repeatedly. Kind of like that movie with Shaq and Kevin Hart, where Shaq's arresting Kevin Hart. He's like, you know what they're going to do to you in jail? And he starts like... So Rams by 70. Next up, we got Philly versus the Cardinals. This is another rant that I'm going to go on. Does anybody, whenever you see Nick Sirianni's face, do you ever just want to punch a child? Not really. Like, I don't want to punch a kid when I see Nick Sirianni's face. I want to, like, punch him when I see Nick Sirianni's face. I feel like he would be perfect for being cast as, like, one of those really, really cringy, like, mid-2000s Disney Channel bullies, where the kid says the most cringy things ever, and he's just, like, a jerk, and everybody hates him. Like, nobody on God's green earth can look at me in my eyes and say, I like Nick Sirianni. His mom probably doesn't even like him. Like, every single time I see his face, his smug little butt chin poking through his thin-ass beard, I just want to, like, run through a wall. It's crazy. It's crazy what it does to me. He's so annoying. Maybe he's a good person. I only see him on the football field. I don't know him personally, so I can't really, say that he's a terrible person, off the field. But my goodness, I don't like him, man. He's so annoying, so cocky, so arrogant. Like, you're only good because of the tush push. Like, Jalen Hurts, I think I saw, has 15 touchdowns, rushing touchdowns on the year, which is, like, tied with Cam Newton or close to Cam Newton. It's like, wow, good job. You can, like, stick your head up grown men's butts as you go into the end zone. Cam Newton was doing that from, like, 20 yards away, but okay. Like, don't compare Jalen Hurts and Cam Newton. Are you serious right now? That's crazy. All that Eagles slander. Honestly, I got so much more Eagles slander. I got Cowboy slander. I got Eagles slander. I don't have Commanders slander because they suck too. But the Eagles are one of the worst good teams ever. Like, you watch them and you watch the refs, and I guarantee you the refs will, like, throw a flag, they'll get together and talk, and they'll be like, all right, so I have a lot of money on the Eagles right now, and also Nick Sirianni said that he would punch my mom if I didn't help them win this game, so let's make up a bogus call and give the Eagles a first down. I was watching the Giants game Christmas Day. I was trying to escape the family. And Tyrod Taylor throws it to Wan'Dale Robinson. Literally, I don't know who the corner was. I don't know if it was Slay. I don't know if it was Bradbury. No, Slay wasn't playing. Anyway, who cares? It was one of the Eagles. They're not even human. Just kidding, they're human. Anyway. And he, like, just absolutely tackles Robinson and, like, keeps him from getting the ball. Clear pass interference. It was, like, third down. No penalty. I'm staring at the TV like, am I watching this right? It's the Giants. If you give them a call, they're not going to win the game. Come on now. Like, it's the Giants. They're not going to win the game. Give them the call, even though, not to mention that it was a clear pass interference. Anyway, the Eagles literally, with the way that the refs are playing, they could have the Giants roster and still be 11-4. That's all I'm saying. So yeah, I'm picking them over the Cardinals because the Cardinals, they're bad. Next up, Saints versus Bucks. I don't know why this season I forget that the Bucks are a team. Like, I hear about the Saints because everybody trashes Derek Carr and then all that stuff, but I feel like there's been no coverage whatsoever on the Bucks. This is another game. It's a divisional game, which they're always fun and interesting. But talent-wise, I think they're very similar. I'm picking the Bucks on this one. I think it's going to be a good game. I think talent-wise, they're equally matched. I don't know a lot about the Bucks this season. Ever since Tom Brady left, the media is just kind of like, all right, I don't want to play with you anymore. And they don't cover them at all. So I'm picking the Bucks just based on my gut. Let's move on to San Fran versus the Commanders. San Fran. I don't know what happened against the Ravens. The Ravens are a terrifying team. Absolute terrifying team. But the way on Monday night that they just absolutely dismantled the 49ers will blow my mind. Like, I think Brock Purdy's a very good quarterback. Obviously, with anybody, you're going to have that roster around you that makes you a better player. That's how a team works. So I'm not going to be here like, oh, it's because they took the screen away from Brock Purdy. Brock Purdy's not a good quarterback. Brock Purdy's an amazing quarterback. He makes good decisions. He can put the ball in tight windows. He's a good quarterback. But he may have been having an off game. I have no idea, but it was very impressive what the Ravens were able to do to the 49ers. They proved that they are beatable. The Commanders aren't going to beat them, but somebody might beat them. And I'll talk more about the Ravens a little bit later. I'm kind of excited too. But San Francisco by 69 points. Next up, Panthers versus Jags. In the words of the amazing Rhett Cosby, Jags, because Trevor Lawrence's wife is hot. I don't need to say anything about this game. Like, the Panthers are bad. Who do you think they're going to get in the draft? Another quarterback? Caleb Williams? No, I'm kidding. They got to get a receiver. Bryce Young is throwing to Adam Thielen and future Walmart employees. So I'm picking the Jags by 420 points. All right. The game that scares me for this week is the Dolphins versus the Ravens. Let's see the betting odds on this. Or not the betting odds, but the... According to ESPN Matchup Predictor, Dolphins 44% chance and Ravens 56% chance. I'm rooting for the Dolphins, but I think the Ravens are going to win. I don't want them to win. The Ravens are such a good team. Lamar Jackson is such a good quarterback. Remember, it was week 1, 2018 or 19, when the Dolphins weren't good yet. And the Ravens came down to South Florida and beat the Dolphins like 52-6. That was crazy. That's not going to happen this game. I think it'll be a good game. It all depends on how consistent the Dolphins can play. The game that they won against the Cowboys was a huge game. They finally beat somebody with a winning record. But I don't know if they can hang with the Ravens, who their defense is playing lights out. Lamar Jackson is terrifying. So 1 o'clock on Sunday, 12:31, I will be sitting watching this game until completion, unless it's a blowout. And in that case, I'm gonna, I don't know, walk in front of a bus or something. No, I'm kidding. Go Dolphins. I think the Ravens are going to take this one, though. All right. Houston Texans versus Tennessee Titans. We got Will Levis, the Mayo Maniac, which is also a name that they gave your mom in high school, the Mayo Maniac, versus is CJ Stroud playing? I know he was out. CJ Stroud is questionable. If CJ Stroud plays, I think that the Texans are going to take this game. If CJ Stroud doesn't play, I think the Texans are going to take this game. It's really impressive. Nobody saw this coming. Nobody saw the Texans having a winning record at this point. If you asked me at the beginning of the season, I would have been like, oh yeah, they're going to win 4 games this year. Tennessee, not looking good. They did beat the Dolphins because the Dolphins choked. That was interesting. But I'm going to take the Texans because they have a great young core on their offense. And if they all play, then I think they can definitely steamroll the Titans. Here we go. Pittsburgh Steelers versus Seattle Seahawks. Both 8-7. I'm picking the Seahawks. Pittsburgh offense is strange. Like, George Pickens decides to ruin people's mental health by dropping like 50 points on their bench because nobody started George Pickens. Come on now. So it depends on what version of the Steelers offense we get. Are we going to get the capable offense or the non-capable offense? Either way, I'm picking the Seahawks. I think that they're a better rounded team. DK Metcalf. That's it. Just DK Metcalf. If he was running at me full speed, I'd probably just like roll over and be like, no, I feel like it'd be kind of fun. Cause like, remember getting hit in football and like it hurts, but like in a way it's kind of fun. So it'd be kind of fun just to like, all right, here comes DK. And then you wake up in the hospital and you regret doing that the rest of your life. But either way, Seattle's going to take this one by 8 points. Big brain. Denver versus Chargers, another divisional matchup. I'm going to take the Broncos. I don't like Sean Payton at all, but that doesn't have anything to do with my prediction. It just has to do with the fact of letting Russ cook and the fact that actually, I got this thing. I got a theory. Like, a team sucks, right? They fire the head coach, and then almost immediately, the week following the head coach firing, the team looks totally different, and they're like a good team. Like, they held their own against the Bills in the first half, and even beyond that. So I'm going to change my prediction and pick the Chargers over the Broncos. Just because Brandon Staley's gone. I know that they have, I forgot what their new quarterback's name is because Herbert got hurt. But I'm going to pick the Chargers. I'm in with 16% of America. All right, we got two more. Sunday at 4:25. Do we not have a Monday night game? We don't have a Monday night game? That's dumb. Sunday, Chiefs versus Bengals. It'll be really fun to watch this game and see Patrick Mahomes have another breakdown, mental breakdown, crying and whining and just being like his little brother Jackson. But I'm still picking the Chiefs. Patrick Mahomes is a great quarterback. He'll find some way to win. But I don't like either teams. I'm not watching this game. I'm picking Chiefs, and that's it. Last game, Sunday night, because we don't have a Monday night game because the NFL hates us. Green Bay Packers versus Minnesota Vikings. I picked the Packers. I don't know why the split is 36-64 in favor of the Vikings. Jordan Love appears to be a good quarterback. Minnesota, obviously, no, they both have a 7-8 record. Yeah, why are the Vikings so, am I stupid? Like, am I missing something? Why are the Vikings so heavily favored? They had Josh Dobbs as the quarterback. Now they have somebody else. I don't know who. I mean, obviously they got Justin Jefferson, who's a beast, but I'm picking the Packers just because my gut is telling me to, which my gut dropped me below 90% on the pick'ems this week, so maybe I shouldn't trust my gut, but that's what I'm picking, Green Bay Packers. So that concludes the pick'ems for this week. Hopefully I didn't say anything too wild that Matt's gonna look at me and be like, I'm never letting you record a video for me when I'm on vacation again, ever. Just to clarify, he is on vacation in Chicago. He did not get arrested for public urination, as I made the joke. I hope none of you thought that, but yeah, those are my picks. Stay tuned next week. Matt's going to be back, hopefully, unless he gets arrested for public urination. No, I'm kidding. Matt will be back next week, and he'll break it down, probably have some things to say. And thank you for watching. I hope you guys have a safe and fun New Year's Eve. Not New Year's Day, because there's no football on New Year's Day, so what's the point in doing New Year's Day if there's not football? Oh, it's because college. Sorry, guys. I've had a brain fart. Yeah. College football. There's football on Monday. Let's go, baby. Let's go, baby.